Thanks for stopping by today with Keep It Simple with Grandma. We're going to have some fun today. But first of all, let me ask you a question. How old were you when you found out you could bake bread in a crock pot? I was 65. Now, I hope that you'll follow along today because we're going to do an experiment. We're going to do it two different ways. So you're not going to want to miss this. Follow along. Let's get started. For one of the crock pots, we will line it with parchment, and we're going to put an artisan loaf in there. And the other one, we're going to grease a regular bread loaf pan, and we're going to put it in the other crock pot and see which one we like better. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is to add yeast and 1 tablespoon of sugar to our 1 1/3 cup of lukewarm water, and we're going to activate the yeast. So we need 2 1/4 teaspoon of yeast, which is the same as a packet, and we'll also put in our sugar, and that will help activate the yeast. We'll give that a stir and let that set for about 10 minutes. We'll start getting our flour and salt and everything together. Okay, we'll put our 3½ cups of flour in, 1 teaspoon salt, 2 tablespoons of oil. Give that a stir. As you can see, our yeast is activated, so now we can add it to the mixture here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add the dough hook. We'll let that go for about 4 or 5 minutes, kneading it until it's smooth and starts to pull away from the side of the pan or bowl. Still a tad sticky, so I'll add just a little more flour. Maybe 1/8 of a cup. See, it has pulled away from the side of the bowl here. So I have a greased bowl that I'm going to go ahead and put it in and let it rise, and then we'll make our second batch. So then I'll give it a turn in the bowl so that it's greased on both sides here. Do the same with the other one, so that it's greased on both sides. And we will let those rise till double in size. Our dough has risen, and we need to turn it out. Well, let me flour this lightly. I also have my crock pot heating to high, getting it ready. And then we'll just let all the air out and knead it just slightly a few times, just removing the air. And then we'll shape it. Okay. Now I'm going to make this one into an artisan shape, so just a rough shape here, and I'm going to put it on the parchment, and I trimmed the sides down a little bit so that I can fit it into the crock pot a little better. Okay, I think that'll be all right. Now I'm going to put the lid on. Now I will set my timer for 1.5 to 2 hours, and then we'll check back on it. So we'll set that back, and then we'll get the other one ready. In our next loaf, we'll do the same thing. Letting the air out and then kneading it lightly. Now you can add in so many different things. You can add in cheeses, you can add in rosemary or basil or garlic. Just make it whatever flavor you like. And I'm really impressed so far with the way this is turning out. One of the things that I had read is that often the disappointment is that the top of the loaf doesn't get completely brown. The bottom gets nicely brown, but not the top. So then people just put it in the broiler for about 5 minutes to brown the top of it. So I think we might do that if we feel like we need to. So, okay, let me kind of roll this into a loaf. I've got my well-greased loaf pan here, and it's ready to go in pot number 2, which is also heated on high. So I'll have to try to carefully set this in here without getting burned. Now we patiently wait. So there's the loaf pan, and there's the artisan loaf. Okay, it has been 30 minutes, and look how much it's risen already. One thing about putting it in the crock pot, because the crock pot cooks so slow, the second rise is being done in here. They have come out of the crock pot, and see how nice the bottom is, but the top part is really light. Same thing with the loaf one. They rose very nicely, turned out really nice. The side's nice. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and just rub some butter on the tops of these and stick them in the broiler for about 5 minutes and let the tops brown up a little bit. But they seem to be a really nice texture, so I'm anxious to let them cool and cut into them. I took the internal temperature, that's what that little hole is. Should be 190 to 200. I let it go all the way up to 200 because I wanted it to be a little more brown. Okay, I'll go ahead and stick those in the oven. Okay, time to taste. Do you want a little butter on yours?
Yes, I do. I've always said she butters my bread. That is good.
Very good. Very nice. I highly recommend baking it or cooking it in the crock pot. Wow. Very nice texture.
Crock pot bread is really good.
And the convenience of it in the summertime, you don't have to heat up your oven. You don't even have to put it in the broiler to brown the top if you don't want to. I mean, it's fine, it's completely done before you do that, but it just looks a little nicer. Thumbs up for me.
Yep, me too.
Yay! We made delicious bread in the crock pot. Wow, that was amazing. I hope that you'll try it using your own recipe or this recipe. Please let me know if you do. And I would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to my channel. That will really help. And as always, remember to look down below in the description for the recipe and the instructions. So come back again. See you soon. Just as easy to use fingers as it is a spatula here. Pull the crock pot over.